Hey, this is Michelle, and I'm back with another You, Me, Same 3 collab with Tiffany, Southern Gals Designs. And what we do is we both get the 3 same exact items and then see what each other comes up with. This month, the super sweet and talented Nina Fickett sent us each the same 3 items, and she wanted to see what we would come up with. So Nina sent us a page from Ladies Home Journal, 1920, and 5 index tabs and a personal data card that has a really neat embossed seal on it. So that inspired me. The index tabs and the personal data card I thought kind of reminded me of a journal, and I wanted to do a no-sew journal. So I did look on YouTube, and I will link my inspiration for this little journal below. What I did was I just sewed both sides of the magazine to give it a little bit more strength, and then I folded, the sheet was already folded in half, so I just folded each side into the middle. That way I would get 4 equal pieces of paper. I then used my paper cutter to cut the 4 pieces. I would have normally tore it, but the paper is really delicate, so I didn't want it to rip into the sheets. Then what you want to do is fold the sheet in half, each of the 4 sheets in half, and then in half again. And you want to do that with all 4 pieces, and then you want to take each of them and accordion fold them. Remember, like you used to do with the fans when you were little, the handmade paper fans. So you're going to do that with all 4 papers, and then you're going to unfold them so that you can attach each piece end for end. So you're just going to use your Uhu Glue Stick or whatever glue stick you prefer. This happens to be my favorite. And then just attach it end for end. Now, only one side is going to show, so I just tried to pick the side that I liked the best, and I definitely wanted the 1920 part to show. Other than that, I didn't really care. I did have a little bit of an overhang, so, just cut it off. It's okay if it's not perfect. But I do love that peachy reddish it's kind of a fall color, but I do like it. So once you have it completely glued, you're just going to accordion file it back together again. And then what you're going to do is take the side that you aren't going to see, and you're just going to use your glue stick all the way on the back and accordion fold it back together again. Now, I should have panned the camera out a little more for the rest of the video, so I'm sorry if it's a little bit out of frame, but all you're doing is gluing the entire back and accordion filing it. You just don't want to do the very last square, because there's nowhere for that to stick to. So right up to that last square, and then that's the back for now until we make our cover. So there is the tiny little journal. And then I'm just measuring it inside the card to see if it'll fit. And I used some more clear gesso on that because I wanted to use some pastels. And the card is just a little bit too big, so I used the paper trimmer just to trim just a little tiny bit of each end off because I didn't want to lose either portion. So why I thought I would use the pastels is I thought they would be best on the embossed portion, but it doesn't really show up as much as I like. Hindsight, I probably would have used like a Gilder's wax or something over the top of it. But either way, I still like it. So I tried to pick out colors that kind of matched the magazine page, and those happened to just be colors that I really liked too, so it worked out perfectly. I did spend far too much time futzing with the colors and the pastels, and I didn't really like them in the end, so but that's okay because I found something that worked that kind of blended it together better, but you'll see that. So my thought was I'm going to visit my mom in Florida. I'm going to be leaving Sunday, and both my sisters are going to be there, and it's been a really long time since we all got to see each other, so we're going to have some sisters time too. And I know I won't get a lot of art time, but this little tiny journal I can throw in my purse, and you'll see at the end that it's the perfect little size, and I can just add a few things together almost in like a makeup bag and throw it in my purse. So that's what my thought was, and I think it kind of works out perfect for that in the end. So this isn't blending like I want, but I do decide to take a little bit of acrylic paint, and I use a really wet brush and just kind of give it a little bit of glaze kind of to get the colors to blend a little bit better, and I like it a lot better with that. And of course it just happens to be a color I really like, so it worked out perfectly. So I'm just moving the paint around a little bit, still trying to get it to blend, and I have a confession to make. I am really slow at just about everything I do. I don't know, I guess I get lost in the process, and I'll listen to music or a podcast, and I find that I'm super slow. I don't know what else to say. That's who I am, and everyone that knows me knows that I'm really super slow at just about everything. So yeah, that's me. Oh wait, no, I'm not slow at driving. That's right. I'm not really slow at that. That's the only thing I'm not slow at, I guess. Anyhow, this is finally done, and I can measure my journal in there. And since my journal is more than a couple pages, I just gave it 3 little folds in the back to give it a little bit more width for the spine. And then I'm just going to use my glue stick again and put it across the front sheet and flip it over and do the same on the back. And there is my little journal. And I think it ends up being like, is it 8 pages? 6 pages? 6 pages, I think. So I have these Tim Holtz photo booth pictures, and it kind of reminded me of like yearbook pictures too. So I just cut out like 5 or 6 little pictures so I can use them on my pages. I decided to use the index tabs as like reinforcers for a tie to close the journal. And I'm just using a hole punch. I was able to tuck the one end of the tab underneath the magazine sheet. It wasn't stuck down completely, so thank goodness, since I decided at the last minute where to use those. I was going to use them as little page tags, but this worked out better. So this is just like some coordinating yarn that I put, and I just did like a double knot at the end so it didn't pull through. And then I decided that I would do a quick page with my little pictures. So I'm just getting some gesso. This is just white gesso. I ran out of the DecoArt, and I have that brand, and it's actually really thick. It's a really good gesso. I just ordered it from Blick, and I don't have one really super close to me, so I don't know why I didn't use that up first. So I'm just drawing that quick. And I love how that, I love how the color is bleeding through the gesso. And then I'm using some DecoArt Crackle paint. Now this isn't the paste, so that's why I'm using a paintbrush. It's about the consistency of the gesso, and it kind of makes, well, it makes really small crackles. So if you want something not as thick, not as crumbly, that's what you would use. It still makes really good crackles. I, as you can see, did not wait though, so the crackles aren't that great, but that's okay. This is just a little chunk of ledger paper that I had left over from something else that I made, and I just took it over to my sewing machine and zigzag stitched a couple times down it. And then I have some Tim Holtz Big Chat stickers. And I use some super heavy matte medium to adhere the picture down. They're a little thick. I usually peel the backing off of it, but I didn't this time. And then I wanted to bring in a color to kind of match the thread. I didn't change the thread out of my sewing machine, so I just used that color, and then some of the, it is Master's Touch paint, and I'll have the color down below. And that just says happy because she looks kind of happy, I guess. And then I used a new pastel and brushed underneath. And I tried to get into the little bit of crackle that I had with it, but you'll see at the end. There is a tiny bit, not a whole lot though. So there's my page. And then I decided that I probably should put something on the cover. And since this is going to be kind of like a little yearbook, I thought memories worked well. This is a little chunk of cheesecloth, and I'm just using some Heidi Swapp Color Shine in mint green. I guess I liked the color of the thread after all with the other colors, so I kind of used something similar to that. And then that is just drywall tape, and you can get that at Lowe's. So I just adhered the memories with some super heavy matte gel medium and with the cheesecloth that I dyed. And then I'm just going around the edges with the darker colors. I don't know why, I guess I kind of like, I don't always like a little border around it, but I think for this, I liked that look. I also wanted to take a little bit of the mint or aqua color and bring that around the page a little bit too. And then I'm just going to go ahead and do the same on the back, and that is going to be the end of my journal and my page. I'm going to throw a few of the pictures that I cut out in my journal also, and that way it's all ready for me to take with me when I go Sunday. Please go check out what Tiffany made if you haven't already. I'm sure she made something fantastic. And also go check out Nina's page too, because she's super talented. Would love it if you subscribed and gave me a thumbs up. Also, ask any questions or comments below. Thanks so much. Bye.